Hi guys, and welcome to a new series I'm starting. So I've spent a lot of time building up a brand new world just using vanilla for us to all start building and to explore and kind of build up the lore together. One thing I've also done with this world, which is a lot different than the ones I've done before, is I've actually opened it up to my higher tiered Patreons and members. So I found this nice spot just off of the northern coast, which I thought was going to be the perfect place to actually start building, and we're actually going to be calling this one Kliptoff. So as part of the lore of this island in particular, this kingdom, what I wanted is that the power is really in the south, so the capital is really where everything's about, and that's where the king or queen is kind of like holding their power, and they don't really care as much about the kind of northern parts of their realm. So I wanted to have some walls. The reason that it's built on the cliff as well is, well, it's for protection, so that they can only really be attacked really from the sea and from one angle, so it's a good natural protective space. So I wanted to build up this nice tower as well, so this would be looking over the natural harbour that we've actually got. Because of course in a storm, this would be such a perfect place to actually moor your ship up, where you're kind of like protected from those really, really heavy waves. But I also want to use that as part for like trade and things like that, so you could actually have people come in here, you know, parking up in the bay as it were, and actually coming up and then trading with the local people of Kliptoff. So with the houses, I wanted to go for quite a simplistic design because they are, you know, after all peasants. But the other thing I was thinking about was, you know, on a cliff you're going to have a lot of wind, or more likely going to have a lot of wind from the kind of like northern shores, that kind of, you know, breeze coming down. So I wanted to put a lot of stone around the outside of the buildings. So I was playing around with this like small kind of like hut. It's got a kind of wooden frame inside, also got kind of like almost a thatchy type roof on it, which don't ask me how that stays on. But then yeah, having this heavy stone on the outside, so they lay lots of stones just on the outside of the frame, and that is quite good obviously for insulating once it gets quite warm, but also it will protect you from, you know, heavy winds, because you of course got it on stone. I also wanted to build like a barn nearby, so the idea being if there's lots of bandits on this coast or pirates that come about, they need somewhere to store all of their food supplies, anything valuable they've got as a town. So they'd work in the fields during the day or as fishermen, you know, going out on their ships. But then, you know, at night they'd come onto Kliptoff, and they'd also store everything that they've actually got into this barn. So I wanted to really build that. Same with the animals as well. So there's nothing that's outside the walls which could get stolen. The next main building that I wanted to get onto was Blacksmith. So this isn't for weapons or anything like that, so they're not really an armourer, but you would have a blacksmith kind of like quite commonly for things like you know, horseshoes and nails and well, just general tools as well. So think about, you know, hoes and also shovels that you actually get for any sort of farm work at all. You're going to need a blacksmith of some kind, so that's why I kind of like put this in a kind of central spot in the town as well. It just kind of fits perfectly. Now I actually built this one on a live stream, so thank you guys for helping me out with the design of this one and with lots of different ideas. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out, especially just using vanilla blocks. It's just really good, especially now that we've got the grindstone. Such a perfect kind of block to actually use, or kind of like object, I don't know what you want to call it, but really, really good, and I'm really happy with that. The next thing I wanted to do is actually at the front of the town I wanted to have some stocks. So anybody that's been misbehaving in the town would be, you know, put into the stocks here. Everybody be able to see them. And yeah, you know, kind of a bit of punishment, always quite good. And also built in a nice oak tree as well. It's just a really nice feature to kind of open up the town a little bit. So the next big thing is an inn. So inns and taverns, of course, a lot of the time you might not actually have lots of food at home, but you can always go to the inn. You could always go and get yourself some ale or some mead, or anything like that is going to be where your inn is at. It's also, because of the north coast, if it has got lots of bandits, having it behind the walls makes a lot of sense. And what you can also see with this one is I decided to build it at an angle, but I'm really happy with actually how it turned out, especially on the inside, which I'll show you guys later on. So just building another house, I wanted to go for like a slightly bigger one this time, and just playing around with the kind of styles that we've kind of you know, come up with this one, with the whole heavy stone on the outside, and it actually makes for really big interiors, of course, because you're pushing the stone kind of like one block further than you would have normally with your walls, so you get these really cool alcoves on the inside. I also wanted to have some chickens, of course, because, you know, fresh eggs are always good, as well as, of course, you do want some actual meat as well. You've got the chickens for that, but main idea with this was lots of eggs that you can actually get around. So coming to the outside, I wanted to actually make the fortification at the front look a little bit more imposing. Something about it was a bit empty to me. So I decided to build this kind of like ditch that they've dug out. It would make a lot of sense to me, at least, to dig this out if I was building a fortification. Make it difficult for people to get to these, what are quite low walls. And then we've also got like a little bridge as well, which is going across it. So I spent quite a lot of time, more time than I would have wanted to on this part of it. But I'm really happy with actually how it turned out. So I put in lots of different bits of stone, lots of detail on the outside as well, using all the different slabs and stairs that we've now got with, you know, stone and andesite, perfect blocks that have actually been added to the game. And also, you know, going in, detailing, adding some bushes in, and adding in lots of different plant layers as well, and then just, you know, cutting out a couple of the flowers. So moving on to the side of the inn, I wanted to put in a wood store. It just seemed like perfect for it, you know. Especially if they're going to be living on this cliff and they could be there for a while. Well, a wood store makes a lot of sense anyway. And then looking at this area right here, it took me a while to actually decide what I wanted to do with it, but the more I looked, I thought actually this would be a really nice place for a little guard post just off an angle where we can actually, you know, put in a seat and actually look at it from there. So here we go, this is episode 1 of Kliptoff. So we built the main walls and also the kind of like trench outside. We've got the stocks, we've got the main tree as well, that kind of, you know, nice oak tree, which is completely different to the pines that we've got around. We've got the inn, blacksmith, we've got a barn and a couple houses as well on the actual main town. So we've got lots more to explore as we make our way through this series. But one thing, guys, there is a ship on the horizon. So Bird, one of the Patreons, has actually built a ship. So is this friend or is this foe is the main question. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, comment, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.